welcome to the Thrive in 25 podcast series. The Thrive in 25 program is our program at Asia Inc. Forum where we shape Bruneian entrepreneurs to thrive in tomorrow's economy, where we share local and regional insights to our local business community. We have a very special guest that we have here today. We have a speaker of ours from our town hall yesterday. We have Mr. Anthony Dexter. Welcome to our podcast room. He is an independent film director and he's worked with many reputable brands. First and foremost, I think I'd love for you to share an introduction of yourself.
All right. Okay. Thank you for having me. And then, I'm going to do in the introduction. My name is Dexter Anthony. I'm from Kapit, Sarawak, but currently based in Kuala Lumpur. I'm a commercial film director and I would say a creative as well that works with campaigns, commercials, ads that you see in billboards and maybe TV as well. Yeah, I've been doing this for about, film directing specifically for about 5 years. And then, yeah, I'm so glad to be here.
Oh, thank you. And it's and I understand it's your first time to Brunei as well.
Yeah, it is.
But I think coming from our conversation, we have so much things in common.
I know we do.
So regardless, Malaysia, Brunei, Indonesia, we have so many things in common. The first question I wanted to ask you is, you've set the scene already, but what do you consider yourself as? Are you a filmmaker or are you your own, brand, Mr. Anthony Dexter?
Honestly, I feel like it became a brand of some sort because from just posting I would say aesthetic photos on Instagram, it kind of turned into building my own posting about the campaigns and then work. And then people started to take note on the campaign videos, and then they're very interested in what is he gonna put out next, and then what kind of style that he's gonna do. Some way it became a brand, and Dexter Anton, the IG handle, became someone that people would remember. Mm-hmm. And then at some point I do get invited for brand events and stuff like that as a digital creative or digital artist than just a filmmaker, Mm-hmm. So I guess from just a production house, it became a brand, I would say. Yeah.
So right now when it comes to your film directing, you work with a team or is it yourself? How does it work?
Currently, I'm self-employed, mm-hmm. and then I work with different people from the industry. Mm-hmm. For example, the whole reason why I kind of wanted to do it in a contract or project way is because I realized that each people that I hire have their own strength, and I want to use those strengths in a specific project that I want to work on. For example, this person is good at doing food, and then I hire him for the food stuff. But then if they are really good at maybe specific fashion look, then I'll go for it. Because I realized that by doing so, it creates a really refreshing look for clients as well for the outcome. So all your work won't just look replicated or the same. It gives us fresh perspective for each project that I put out. Yeah.
What is, I would say, the personal style when it comes to directing for you?
For me, I'm very particular.
You gave us a preview yesterday. Is that your general style of filmmaking?
Honestly, yeah, that is my the overview style that from what I usually do, and it's a mix, I would say, of experimentation, mm-hmm. and also a vintage look, I would say.
A vintage look, okay, yeah. Nostalgic look.
Yeah,
That's the one that we're going for. Okay,
exactly.
You've mentioned that you've worked with, I would say, fashion brands, some app brands as well.
Yeah.
Share with us what brands have you worked with?
I work with brands like Samsung, mm-hmm. Oppo, Brown Buffalo, Bonia, Chaji, Dulux, the paint brand.
The bit, oh wow! And how? Yeah, that's cool.
That was for regional. Actually, it was for some ads were used in I think, if not mistaken, India or Bangladesh, and some were in Vietnam. Mm-hmm. Some were specifically targeted for Indonesia as well. So I think working with this kind of brands, it gave me a lot of place to experiment. I have to, and at one point the script has to be in Bahasa Indonesia, and mm-hmm. I have to have a translator and then to understand, is this how they actually say it?
Oh wow.
Yeah.
So I mean, again, it's very diverse as well. So from doing fashion to also, I would say, appliances, as in your brands, and then to paint. What has been the most, I would say, memorable story for you, and which brand was this that you have worked with?
Honestly, I think one of the more memorable one was the one that I did for Chaji. It's a milk tea brand from China, and then
Of course, I
they.
know this Chaji.
Oh,
I love Chaji.
when is it coming to Brunei?
I hope so. We have to go to Miri for this. So.
I know, I heard from that. So it was a campaign I worked on last year for their Merdeka. And then one thing that made it very memorable for me is we have to kind of like make Malaysian culture I would say to make it more aesthetic to fit into the brand. So there's a lot of nuances in the project where I have to use, for example, the train. Why did we choose the train? Because it was one of the first few transportation or in Malaysia that goes into the heart of, Peninsula at that time. So there's a lot of little details, the color tone that we choose, the props, all that little things were given like creative freedom from the brand, and it was really nice for them to actually just let us do whatever we want in terms of that. Even the models that we were using, we used like a Sabahan mix Indian, so it was like a mixed thing that we wanted to show that how that is Malaysia, Yeah, it's a little bit different from their original brand identity, but everyone seems to really like that campaign when it rolled out. Yeah.
That's great. In regards to where do you begin in regards to creating all these videos, productions, what is your creative workflow like? Like, how do you begin? Do you start with a storyboard? Do you sit? What's the first thing for you?
For that, usually when I see a brief or maybe a job from a client, I will look at it first, and then usually there will be a lot of ideas popping in mind, and then I will choose the most logical one that actually fits the brand, and then I propose it to the client. So in terms of like creative flow, I'll find photos, references first, and then it goes into my own very ugly sketching of my storyboard, and then it'll go into expanding into little details like, okay, what location fits this, and what kind of props, what kind of models, like the clothing that they wear, into all the little details. And then from there on, we propose to client, and then it goes into a few rounds of meetings just to have an alignment for approvals, and then we go into shooting and then post-production. So it's quite a lengthy process.
Of course, I understand. Like, do you create visual boards and all this as well?
Yeah. So right now, currently, what that is interesting for me is like we use like 3D renderings, much like an ID, actually, like interior designer, to create like actual ID setup drawings and 3D renderings for clients to see, so they can really, really visualize it. Sometimes sketches are sketches only. You can't really visualize it. So we even put like the height of the models in just to see like, this is how tall she's gonna look in, alignment with the. Yeah. So then all those actually help to get a better vision for the clients to see as well, which I think it helps a lot.
Of course. In regards to, I would say, the final end product of your creative process, what does it translate to? Is it purely film and production? Have you done a billboard?
Usually.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No problem.
When it comes to, let me do it. When it comes to the final outcome, there are different kind of outputs. For example, we have billboards. I've done billboards as well. Those digital billboards as well, where it's like videos going on. Some in-store display you will see as well. So I think one of the more memorable one was like the Brown Buffalo shoot a campaign that we did for a Smiley. Basically, Smiley is a brand, and then Brown Buffalo. It was like a collaboration that they did, and then we built the set already, like in the campaign, and then they extract what we did in the set and then put it in store everywhere. So it's really nice to see how the main campaign visuals get translated into physical events and even in-store display as well. You could say that it was started from just the video campaign and expanded to it sets the tone for all the aesthetic, and even like the IG filters that we use are all kind of like intertwined together. Yeah.
In regards to the creative side of things, right, and translating that to the team that you are working with, how do you justify things like your budget and your spend and the money that's required to create this visual idea into reality? Because I feel like when it comes to talking to the financial team, the technical team, they're just like looking at dollars and cents always, like, can we cut costs? Can we, how is that like for you?
For me, usually I would want to understand, okay, what is the scale that my client wants to do? For example, if they dream big, of course, it has to translate into the
spending big as
spending.
Well. Yes.
But then I'm also quite understanding when it comes to like, let's say smaller scale campaign. I feel like budget is definitely will be a limitation, but it could be for us as creative. It could be a creative way of like doing the campaign as well. For example, you have ways to do a campaign with 50,000. You can do it with 500,000. You can also even do it with You can also do it with 5,000 if you really put your heart into it. So I think it's up to like when it comes to the goal, what is the client wanting to achieve, and I feel like that is the main thing that I want to understand. If they really want to go big. Also, I need to understand, okay, why are you putting that much money in this specific stuff? Is it really worth it? Sometimes I will also justify, okay, the spending. For example, I think I gave an example. Okay, let's say clients sometimes they want 30 photos. So I ask, why do you need 30 photos? Because sometimes you have 30 photos, but then you're ending up only using 9.
The best.
So I'm like, so I would also kind of have a back and forth justification. Okay, if you do 30s, maybe we can, put the budget in somewhere else to make everything looks better. I won't just say yes because for the sake of like the job, I would actually put in like reasoning. Okay, you want to do this and why? What is the whole intention?
I think in regards to this conversation about pricing and everything, I feel like it's super relevant because I think from yesterday's session, you can see that the creative economy and the creators in Brunei are currently trying to set themselves as well here. They want to know more about how do they set those standards for themselves, the values that they have to share to people. How do you assign then value to pricing?
Ooh.
That's very hard. Like, that's why I just, started to ease your way into it. Like, how do you justify, hey, I'm X amount?
I'm gonna cough again. Oh my god, I'm becoming you.
It happens, it's okay.
Okay, I need to drink water.
It's the season in Brunei, guys.
Really? Oh my god, okay. When it comes to value, to me, I feel like it's about the visual identity that you put out as well. For example, let's say a project is given to me, let's say 200,000, okay? Let's use that amount as an example. And then we can deliver something that looks like 500,000 or even $1 million with 200,000 of budget. I feel like it's the way of execution as well. Sometimes even if you have the most budget in the world, it's gonna look, the outcome may not look as great as you think.
The standard, of course. So you want to create a very, I would say, high perceived value when it comes to your output project.
Yeah.
Okay?
And then sometimes I realize that for me, it's like about letting client know, okay, if you want to achieve a certain look, then this is the price that you need to pay. But ultimately, I will also provide them like option A and option B. So option A, this was going to look like. And this is going to look like if you're not going to go for that amount. So I would like to provide them an option and not just like, you have to choose A solely. And then there's no other options. I will provide them options. So B, it won't look that bad, but it might not look like A, but it will still look amazing. So I won't give them like, a death sentence for only A. Yeah.
How, in a way, right now, you've come to this, I would say, it's still not the pinnacle of your career yet. You've started working with really big name brands, but how did you get yourself up to that standard? I would say you would have to have your fair share of saying no to some people as well. How did you, climb that?
For me, it's also kind of like identifying what kind of clients do I want to work on and what kind of projects do I want to put my effort into. of course you need the bread and butter side of the business and then to sustain yourself. But then to me also sometimes saying no gives you a better opportunity to work on greater projects. Because sometimes when you take everything, you don't have the bandwidth to take on special projects.
Everything, yeah.
Yeah. So
And then I would say as well, I think when it comes to the creative side to things, some people would have to sort of lower their standards and budgets. And what advice can you share with the creatives out there when they are dealt with this kind of issue?
to me, I feel like definitely sometimes you gotta do it for the the bread and butter part of the business. But then to me, I feel like there's always a way to talk to your client. I think communication is really the key here. Sometimes they think that, when a client passes you a budget, there's no negotiation. Sometimes there is negotiation. You just have to really lay it out. It's more work, of course, but then if you want to, I don't know, make the whole industry to feel better, to make it more sustainable, then I think communication is something that we need to work on as a creative. You know, the way we talk to clients, the structure, even what's the solution. You're not just giving client like A, or you should choose A only. You should give them like options from your end. What can we do? Where should the money go? And something like that.
And I think in regards to clients as well, I think their misconception is they don't see the entire creative process, the thought behind it, the special detail, the research that you have to do. What's the biggest misconceptions then your clients have had about, doing creative work?
I think a lot of times is like the timeline is a bit crazy sometimes.
Of course, yeah.
Because they would think that, you can do a board with, we have AI right now. Definitely it's a big help in creating boards and stuff like that. But the issue is you still need some thought process. You still need some back and forth with, let's say, if we're working with an agency, we need to understand, if this is viable to the project, or is this okay to the brand? So there's a lot of back and forth that we still need to go into when making each decisions, like even the models that we use, is this okay? Does it show diversity? All those little details. It's not just like, we made a decision ourselves on the day. It's like we have to communicate with so many people just to get an alignment or an agreement with for a decision making on a project. So yeah.
So right now, coming from where you are, I want to take it, I would say, back. Let's wind it back right now. What really got you, in a way, to love film directing?
For me,
Yeah. You said shivers down your... Yeah.
I was like,
How did it... Yeah. How did it start for you?
Film directing is very special for me because I started with photography, and then I didn't realize that it would lead me to film directing. So I always tell everyone that I love everything that is pretty, because I just want to make everything pretty. And then
You're about aesthetics.
I know it is. So like the sun hits, how the sky looks, all those little details sometimes that people overlook is something that is very special to me, because like I think I mentioned something in a forum, like I watch like a same show every single time. For example, like the Disney movie, because we only have that CD. So I will take note like, what props are they using? And then what location? How do they achieve so many people in like that kind of scene? These all went in my mind when I was younger. So I realized that those little attention to details basically made me the creative that I am today. So that's why when it comes to film directing, it's not just about how the actors act and all. It's about everything, how you compose the entire scene. Everyone is just following your direction at the end of the day. Yeah.
Being behind the scenes, between visuals and also audio, like which one is your favorite part?
I think audio. Since last year, I've been given a lot of opportunity to work with composers who work on custom music, and it was really fun because I realized the importance of that, how that actually shaped the entire the feel of the film,
the ambience of everything. Like for me, I personally, I love the lighting of things, but the music part just really hits you. The score of things. Like, now I'm reflecting back on things. Jumping into this industry, you just started off with, I would say, watching films and your own favorite pastimes. What was the one thing that you didn't know when you were wanting to jump into the film industry? You wish you knew now?
honestly, I wish somebody told me that it was your work-life balance is gonna be so off. Honestly,
Okay, why?
because why I say that is because there are days where when I wake up, I just have meetings from like, okay, for example, 8 a.m. to like until midnight, because we have to go through so many people. For example, I have to make sure I have an alignment group call with my production first, and then we get with the agency, then we go to the client, and then it cycles back again. So those are things, the work-life balance part, I wish someone told me that cycle so I would be mentally prepped for all that.
It doesn't, I guess the translation of it all is people see a very nice video and it's like, and you wish sometimes it looks easy.
Yeah.
It looks easy, it looks nice, but you know, behind the scenes, there's a lot of like approvals, reviews.
A lot. We have to go to different locations to see, oh, this is okay or not. I think some people might see it as a easy task, but to me, I feel like I put in a lot of effort in each project. So I realized that, yeah, it's very different, like the priorities of things as well. Yeah.
In regards to the filmmaking part and meeting people, all this, what's been your favorite part so far?
Ooh,
what's your favorite part? Yeah.
I love it. I love the excitement a day before the shoot. So usually how it works is like we will have built the set already. All the set has been done. It's like, or on the way building. So you're in the studio already. Everyone is there, final checking a day before the shoot. So you kind of can see like the rough vision coming to life, and it's very exciting every single time. Like especially if I build on a very complicated set or like complicated lighting, so it's like really fun seeing it come to life on the day before. Yeah.
Do you have a director's chair? You know, like typically when you watch movies, there's a director's chair, there's a megaphone, you've got your coffee and assistants. Is that with you?
Well,
is that with you too?
I have I don't have a director's chair, but I usually bring a lot of tumblers on set.
Oh, okay.
Because I'm the kind where I like, I need to, as much as I love my work, I need to keep my body in check. So I have like one for coffee, one for coconut water, one for herbal tea. One for like something like a hydration water thingy. So it has to all be there. So people will look at me like, why do you have so many?
So you got 3 to 4 tumblers?
Yes, on set
stay
usually.
hydrated.
It's like one done, okay, next one. And I will tell everyone to stay hydrated as well. It's like, y'all need to drink water.
I get you, you're glowing as well, so I can tell. What's your energizer when it comes to a full day of like film production? Do you do a coffee, matcha? What's your preference?
I think coffee, and then also at one point, like, you know, something like 100 plus or revive, that really helps because it's like very hydrating and gives you the oomph for sometimes like 27 hours like straight. So it's crazy. Yeah.
27 hours straight and like past midnight.
Sometimes the next day.
It keeps going.
It keeps going.
How do you translate those conversations then with the actual film production crew? You know, sometimes things like deadlines and all this have to be met, but when you have to do things like overtime and, you know, we need extra time on this, how do you relay that to your team?
I think this is something that a lot of production or new production houses, even older one, I would say, they should actually learn how to allocate time. So even like the tasks, sometimes for me, how we usually work in production is we'll allocate like a certain amount of budget, as in for contingency, even like overtime and all accounted in our costing and stuff like that. So it's not just about like some people just follow the budget and then maximize it, but for us, we make sure that it accounts for this, and we make sure the food is like we have veggies, we have rice, we have meat. All these little details actually helps improve the overall lifestyle during production. Sometimes, if in a good day, we will also get like matcha bar or coffee bar on site.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
To basically have like free flow coffee and, you know.
Because you would think like during a high stress working environment, you know, you get pizza, cokes, you know, the junkies are out there.
No,
you're not about that. You're about wellness. Okay.
I even have my own room spray sometimes. Like, okay, we need to lighten up the vibe.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Okay. Do you tell your actors or your film set to sleep well this as well?
Yeah. Honestly, we would try if they are like maybe like overextending a night before, we'll try to ask them to, you need the sleep, like we need the rest lah. We don't want to overwork them as well.
I love how you are taking care of your whole film production.
We always try to.
That's great. I have so many questions, but I hope I've asked questions as well in representation of the creators here in Brunei as well. In regards to that communication part of the value to your work and, you know, them not seeing the final product, what other advice then can you impart to our local creators?
I think I mentioned something about like yesterday during a forum where it's like it doesn't matter where we are, location wise, or we have our own platform right now. For example, we have social media, we have TikTok, Facebook, Instagram. Those are our platform. We are our own media at this point. So I think for us to shine through in the industry or to want to work with regional staff, start posting, start showing your work and style online. People gonna notice you anyways. It's like, that's your opportunity to get like maybe some intern from another big brand saw your work and then they're like, why don't we use him or her? And then
would you advise me then? Would you advise us as a global events agency to have our own TikTok?
Why not? Why not? It's like
next after this, the team guys.
Oh no. Yeah.
Okay, so in regards to so many more advice, I just wanted to also touch on your own personal advice. How do you keep yourself motivated through those, I would say, creative blocks?
Creative, I am even currently in a creative blog. So it's like I stopped working and taking on directing projects since June, because I have basically I didn't stop taking any FMCG works, like food and consumer goods work, since last year September or October. I don't know. It was like every month, okay, a new project or two projects, something. So for me, I realized that sometimes a break is really, really needed on a grand scale of things for me to work better, to have a clearer mind, and then to just think fresher. Else I would be stuck in a bubble, and then new stuff won't keep coming out.
Because it's a creative crunch, and
it is.
And when you've already in a way maxed out your output, you just kind of need to retreat back and then give it a second thought, maybe travel a little bit as well.
Yeah, I love that.
If you could have sort of given yourself advice when you first started out, you know, and you were right there standing behind yourself, you know, during your first film production, what kind of advice would you have given yourself?
I would say definitely to stand in my own ground more. I think back in the days, I was a little bit afraid of directing because I had like advice or basically a comment, like a constructive comments from my older generation, like my seniors, I would say. They gave me a lot of constructive comments and it really helped. And then I think one thing that he told me is like I should really stay firm to my ideas, because if you're not firm, the entire team wouldn't be firm as well. So it's something that's stuck to me up until right now. I wish I've learned it even earlier, not just when like halfway through, you know.
Then you've just found out these things.
Yeah, I should be firm, like really, really firm with the idea. So everyone, if I'm confident, everyone else will be confident.
And then at the same time, I think when it comes to generational, I think you just touched on that just now. How do you relay that? Like I don't know how old you are. You are Gen Z?
Yeah, turning 25 this year.
Gen Z.
Yeah,
Gen Z. So, and then in regards to this whole translation of film production, you would then have your encounters with much more senior folk. How does that work?
Ooh, most of the time when I work in a...
Because they won't get, you know...
Yeah.
New things like, okay, this is relevant. They're like, what is this for?
No, sometimes when we're on set, they're gonna like, what are we shooting? But then they see the final outcome and they're really impressed as well sometimes, because it's like, what are we doing, guys? But then for me, I really need to let them know that this vision works and then lay out the details, because sometimes it's about risk taking as well. But yes, most of the time when I'm on set, I'm the youngest. Like even like the PA, like the personal assistants, are older than me. So there are certain cases where I don't want to even mention my age.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
And they perceive like, I'm a millennial, I'm just 13. You know, I have so many more questions, but we can always have conversations after this. It's been
Definitely.
such a pleasure speaking with you. And I myself, I'm not a film director or creative. I learned so much from you. One piece of advice, if you can share to the local content creators, those that are in the creative space here in Brunei, what advice can you give to them?
Create more, guys. Just share whatever that is true to you, and don't let anyone stop you from creating. The more you create, the more you experiment, the more you learn, and the more you know what you want and what you don't want. Yeah.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you so much for being onto our podcast. And I hope all the advices and tips and tricks that you've shared with us, I hope our local content creators can take one or two things home with them. In regards to this, thank you. I hope you have a flight after this as well.
Thank you for having me.
I hope it's not your last time in Brunei after this. So please do visit Brunei.
Definitely.
Ladies and gentlemen, we've had such a good conversation in regards to the Thrive in 25 program, shaping Bruneian entrepreneurs to thrive in tomorrow's economy. If you like what you've been watching and listening, please subscribe. Please like and subscribe on our YouTube channel, Asia Inc. Forum BN. Also follow us on our Instagram, LinkedIn, and also Facebook at Asia Inc. Forum. This is a sign off that I love. I've been saying this many times, Dexter. I don't know if you want to say it together, but together at Asia Inc. Forum, we make change happen one conversation at a time.
Ooh.
So it's our tagline. So one conversation at a time.
Wow.